How about go a different route? And when you at this crossroads of your life right now, you're going to go left or you're going to go right, right? So you got to determine what decision you're going to make, but the Spirit will lead you on what decision that you need to make because you have a healthy relationship, right? You're talking about being plugged in and stuff, right? There was an old story. There's an old story about it. It's an old joke, right? There was a lady had bought a refrigerator, right? She bought a refrigerator, brand new refrigerator, and called, and it didn't work. The refrigerator didn't work, right? She called the customer service people, called and cussed out everybody. Talked to the management, owners of the company, the whole nine, right? This thing don't work and I want my money back, blah, 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 blah. One service technician came out and said, well, the reason why it don't work, it ain't plugged in.
Right.
So,
there you go. Right.
If you're not plugged into the source, you can't expect to operate. Not even at any level because you're not plugged in. So what we see out here a lot when we talk about the depression and anxiety and things, we're just looking at a lot of people that's unplugged, man. They're unplugged and they're lost. And so we got to understand them. So our spirit, right? Our spirit man within have to see them where they are, not in condemnation, not in negativity, not in putting them down, but meet them where they are and say, hey, you know what? Can I talk to you? Can we have a conversation, right? Let's see people, right? Rather than just, make it, well, they should know better. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But who are we to judge? Because we've done things in our life where we knew better. But did that help us, right? So we have to be able to understand where we are as people, and if we been fortunate enough to get beyond some of those things, then it's our duty, man, to reach back. It's our duty to come back and tell somebody else that you know what, you are beyond those situations. That light shining is within you. That's why that dim down for what, man, is so important, though, man. That we talk to these young kids and let them know that light is in you. You don't need no bling bling. You are the bling bling. You dig what I'm saying?
Right,
you don't need all that false swag, all that false bravado. Because once you plug into your spirit, see, you gonna shine. You know what I'm saying, though? This little light of mine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. It don't matter how they feel about it, right? Let it shine because you are plugged into your maker. And so when you got greatness on your side, man, you can't lose, man. You walk with a certain swagger because you know I got your back, man, because you plugged in, baby. You plugged in. That's where them haters come from. The haters ain't nothing but the devils. You know what I mean? Don't shake them off and keep it moving, right? Let your spirit, man, flow. Shoot, man, I ain't playing.
Let's revisit, exactly what you're saying. But let's revisit also, kind of what I was talking about, that soul loss. That's kind of what I wanted to visit as well. What leads to this soul loss? Some of the stuff, I was kind of zoning in on, but it's certain things that's going to harm your soul. And this has nothing to do, because man laws changes. You know what I mean? Some things could be considered good today and bad tomorrow. Right? So this is what Vincent was getting back to, that disconnect. So certain things about that's going to harm you, and certain things, even though it can benefit you, but it does more harm to you and others. Cheating people out of stuff, lying. You know what I'm saying? All these different compulsive behaviors. That's why I was talking about these addictions. It's going to harm you in the long run, and it's going to harm others. So these are things that harm the soul and will lead to soul loss. You can't actually your soul can be lost. And you can get so far out there that it can be very, very hard. Listen to this, bro. It can be very, very hard to come back, because it's just like Vincent was saying, I think one time, about smoking that cigarette. When you first smoke it, your body rejects it. But see, when you keep doing things for so long, that whisper, that voice, going back to what you said, Shelton, that inner voice, right? That conscious. At first, it speaks to you. Hey, don't do that. That's that protection the Creator has given you to fight off this stuff that's going to ruin you. But then the whisper gets lower and lower and lower.
Drown it out.
So, you see what I'm saying? So, again, you can't even hear it. Is it like somebody being angry? Because we touched on that too. When somebody being angry, when you're real angry, you zoomed in what you're angry about.
Yeah.
And somebody might be trying to calm you down, but you can't hear them. That's that noise. Like I said, that inner voice you was talking about, Shelton. So this stuff is not tangible. It's what we talking about, the soul in the universe speaking to you about, hey, stop. Because if you don't, you're going to end up in this situation. Right. Which I can speak for my own life. which led me to terrible consequences, such as prison. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly.
But the ironic part of it is I went to prison and became free. My soul became free because I took the time to reconnect with my Creator. But I just kind of wanted to hit on that about no matter how much money you get, how many tangible items you get, if you don't work on that soul, to purify that soul, which is giving charity, to do things, you are going to bury that soul, and it's going to harm you in the long run, and it's going to harm others in the process, no matter how it may look on the outside.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Booker.
Yeah.
No, I just in regards to what Brandon. Yeah, solid point. When you look at what's just within us, just the biological makeup, we got systems within systems, and it's just like the universe.
That's right.
We got digestive system, respiratory system, all these systems within one system, and we didn't ask for any of them. You know what I mean? So that's the same way it is when it comes to that soul and that spirit and those, like Brandon was saying, those tangible things. We have to separate them. And another thing that I want to touch on too, man, when we're dealing with the spirit, because this is a lot of times, a lot of people go through this. A lot of them are ashamed of it, and a lot of them don't question it. And my thing is, if you believe and you pray and everything that you feel like that feeds your spirit, that makes you just feel like you're a believer. Believers are open-minded. You can't be a believer and just restrict your mind to anything, any type of questioning or anything, because when you're sound in what you believe in, like Brandon said, you don't have those fears. But we have a lot of people out here that's living in like hypocrisy, because until we actually start speaking the truth, even if it's against our will, we won't never see that change that we're trying to see. So we have to speak that truth, even if it's against ourselves. And this is how the spirit has to be taught. You can't sing to the spirit and think that you are teaching it. You got to literally teach it. But like I said, a lot of times we get caught up into, some of these songs, man, and the play on our emotions, and we feel a certain way because emotionally we've been aroused, but intellectually you haven't been challenged,
Right.
And that's just, if somebody say that they believe and somebody walk up and ask them a question, they shut down. Don't want to talk. They take up on attitudes and all this. But I would always say, if you really do believe and this is what you are striving for, you got to acknowledge when the Creator is sending you blessings. You have to acknowledge that, because He could be sending you some guidance, because that's what you've been praying for. But that the guidance that might come, it might not be in somebody you expected. But for those that have eyes, they're going to see that, and this is how the spirit grows, man. And like I say, you can tell a good tree from the fruit that it bears. That's right. It's not going to ever lie.
Yeah,
it's not going to ever lie. It's going to manifest itself. I mean, if we plant an apple seed now, and we nurture it the way it's supposed to, we're gonna have an apple tree. That's what we're gonna have, most definitely. So,
well, I think a lot of times, though, man, guilt affects the emotional health also, right? Because when you flying below where you're supposed to fly, man, that's going to mess with you, right? When you know you're supposed to do something, you don't do it. That's going to mess with you. That's going to mess with your psyche, because every single day, man, I'm flying below the radar. I'm living less than what I'm supposed to be. I'm not plugged in like I'm supposed to be. Shout out also to Savannah Elder. She made a comment, too. You can't have a connection with anything or anyone if you aren't plugged in. That's piggybacking on my statement about being plugged in, right? And then what you talking about earlier, man, Brandon and Vincent, you guys, Christian made another statement, right? Saying being spiritually dead is not good, right? She said, I just got my spiritual health back in October, and I'll forever be grateful to God for saving my life. See, I think we don't really realize, man, these kind of comments are great, because we don't really realize the amount of people out here that are spiritually bankrupt, right? They are spiritually bankrupt. So they walking around, man, with non-sufficient funds, bro. You got a lot of people walking around, bounce checks, attitude, brother, non-sufficient funds. Now imagine how you get aggravated, right, when you go to the bank, right? You got an NSF fee. Then they hit you $35 for not having the money. Okay, so I didn't have the original money, and you're going to charge me more for not having the money that I had. How you expect me to play catch up? So you got people that go through life that's spiritually bankrupt, and they never get caught up. And because
Right.
guess what? Even if we're flying high, right, as positive as we are, life still happens to us. Negativity still comes down our way, right? But because the way we handle it, because our spiritual connection, we see that as, you know what, a learning lesson and keep on moving. Because we know who got our back. Because we know who been had our back, right? So imagine the people that don't have that balance. And so again, that's what we have to speak to, though, man. We see so many people that just don't have that balance, and we say, oh man, something wrong with them. What's wrong with them? They imbalanced, man. Chemically imbalanced and spiritually imbalanced and mentally imbalanced, because it all goes hand in hand, right?
Right. And like what you brother saying, you know, and I wanted to zone in on this point too. Before anybody teaches our soul, the Creator teaches it first. What do you mean? But your conscience, that's why I was talking about earlier. Your conscience is a protection to let you know when you do something wrong. You feel it. Going back to what you were saying, Shelton and Vincent, you know, that's how you feel it.
Yeah.
So nobody didn't teach you that in school, just before the human being even got to you. So your conscience teaches you. But like we was talking about, you can drown it out. But we got sayings like, the eyes are the gateway to the soul. Listen to that, bro. And that's true. Because you can look in people's eyes a lot of times, and you could tell, they did studies on this stuff, when people be lying and stuff like that, because it's rarely. Now, you got some people that's they gone. Like,
yeah, they
come out really drowned out.
Yeah.
That they can lie to you in your face and look you right in the face, but that's very rare. You know, when you think about Wonder Woman, now, look at this analogy, because they put this stuff in movies. Wonder Woman had a rope called a Tell the Truth rope, remember?
Yeah, the lasso.
And, right? And she'll wrap you with this rope and you'll tell the truth. But we got a thing called a lie detector test. Listen to this, bro.
Right.
They saying it's something in your soul that will expose you telling a lie when they hook you up to these things, because it's something about your body that gives off certain vibrations. Man, this stuff really deep, bro. If you think about it,
it's energy, man.
Your soul is truthful. So anything that's going against that is a lie, and it exposes itself. That's why they say the truth. Vincent say this all the time. The truth has no expiration date. You know what I mean? So a lie can only last so long, and then it gotta perish. It gotta die. You see what I'm saying? So when we say these things, all this stuff is true. And you know, in the scriptures it say the wages of sin is death.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much as a physical death, but again, we talking about the burying of your own self. Think about that, bro. You walking around looking like you alive, but you're really dead on the inside, because you got these material things that make you look alive, but you got to hide behind them to make yourself feel adequate. You know what I mean?
Right.
But really, you feel some type of way when you don't have them. Think about that, bro. When people don't have certain things, we ain't talking about the basic things. We talking about the fancy things.
Right.
They feel less than.
Right.
That's because it's something about them not balancing the spirit with the materialism. Now, I listen to J. Cole, bro. He was talking about this. The rapper J. Cole, he was kind of talking about it. He said, man, you never stop. He said, you get 1 million, you want 2 million.
Right. He's going
to
keep counting, right?
Nothing wrong with growing, but he was saying greed. That's where he was coming from. He said it never stops. It's like a machine. It's like a machine, and you never stop, because guess what? It's like a high now, because you're already rich. I mean, come on, you can't go past $1 billion. You know, you're talking about $1 trillion. I mean, but like, how much wealth can you get, bro? Like, for you to feel comfortable. So, you see what I'm saying? Before you satisfied, and nothing never really satisfies you. Prince said that in the song. They say a man ain't truly happy till a man truly dies. Y'all remember that song Prince had? Sign of Times?
Yeah.
Right. He said that. He said, some say a man ain't happy till a man truly dies. So, bro, that's deep, because, bro, we never are satisfied, and I'm speaking on the not the positive aspect of it. I'm speaking on the negative side of it.
Right.
You know, but that's that soul again that we keep talking about, that spiritual illness. What's causing this, that for us to have these addictions, it's our disconnection. Going back to what Vincent was saying.
Coping mechanisms, my man. Lack of coping mechanisms. So we have to self-medicate And then like, because we don't want to cope with our reality.